This is Texans TV.
Hi everybody, welcome to Texans 360. I'm Kennedy Smith and we've got a great show in store for you today. The Texans are coming off a dramatic finish this past Sunday, coming just within inches of tying the Jags and taking it to overtime. So let's take a look at some of the sights and sounds from yet another one that came down to the wire.
About that time.
Takes the snap, sets up the screen, left side, motor across the 40, 35, cutting inside 30, 25, still going, 20, 15, 10, and tackled inside the 10-yard
Motor!
line.
What a catch and run.
First and goal, Texans.
Singletary, absolutely perfect.
Second and goal at the 7, Stroud in the gun, gets the snap, looking, CJ stepping to his right, now winding back to the left side. Trying to find some time. Now throws back across his body. Caught, touchdown, Tank Dell! Stroud with the amazing scramble. And Dell with the team. First and 10, Lawrence feeds ETN, and he's going to be dragged down for a TFL. Will Anderson Jr. getting there first.
Boy, he just held on.
Lawrence to throw, over the middle he goes, it's picked off by Stingley, across the 45, 50, and he gets down at the 46-yard line of Jacksonville. Orbit motion by Dell, CJ to throw, over the middle he goes, hits Nico, 20, Nico tripped up at the 15-yard line by Brown. CJ hands off to Singletary, running left. Singletary looking for the corner, breaks the tackle, 10-yard line, 5-yard line, motor to the 1. First and goal, Texans.
Oh, the block by the big fella, having one heck of a game.
Back to pass, runs to the right side. Stroud runs across, high stepping, touchdown, CJ Stroud. Bunch left side. Here's a toss. ETN running left, trying to cut it back inside, and it's a TFL as Christian Harris gets there at the 10-yard line to bring down ETN's. Here's the snap. Here's Stroud looking. Stroud scrambling to the right, dumps it off to Collins over the middle, and he walks in. Touchdown, Houston! Stroud to Nico. The Jacksonville Jaguars have defeated the Texans, stopping their winning streak, and they hold on to first place in the AFC South with a 24-21 victory.
Always great to see and hear that intensity down on the field. Now, we know the Texans are going to be looking to make some adjustments as this very opportunistic Broncos team heads into town. So Mark Vandermeer and John Harris got a chance to sit down with head coach DeMeco Ryans and talk a little bit about those adjustments, as well as what they see from Russell Wilson and these Broncos.
Visiting with us in the Hyundai Texans radio studio, it's head coach DeMeco Ryans. Coach, great to see you.
Hey, great to see you guys.
All right, big week against Denver. And how important and difficult is it to get the message across constantly to the team that the only thing that matters really is the next one, no matter what happened in the last game, right?
Right. As bad as the last one hurts, right, we can't go back and do anything about it. We can't go back and correct what happened. We can't change the score or the outcome of that game. But what we can do, we can learn from it. We can press forward this week. We can clean up our issues, our miscues that we had. And now we press forward, and everything is about Denver. That's all that matters. And it's not difficult for guys to understand where our focus has to be, right? Of course, we would have loved to win that game versus the Jags, and we were in position to do that. Came up short. But now we still have a lot of games ahead of us, right? We still have a lot of things that we're vying for in our season. It's right there ahead of us. It's just we have to handle it the right way going down the stretch.
Coach, what have you seen in the growth of Christian Harris? The beginning of the year, wasn't getting as many reps, but as the season wore on, injury, gets back in the lineup, starts doing some things in the last few weeks. It really kind of feels like he's getting his feet under him. But what have you seen from Christian in the last few weeks, kind of getting him going?
Yeah, Christian, he's does some really good things. You talk about a guy, he's flying around, sideline to sideline, flying around, playing with good energy. And Christian he's still learning, he's still growing, still have a lot of things to improve on. Love working with Christian, love his attitude and his commitment to getting better every single day.
It seems like, and just listening to you talk to the media, Coach, it seems like there's a lot of understanding and forgiveness for mistakes for your players and nurturing. Really, these are young guys by and large, and you're just trying to get them to do their best next time around and not hang their heads, right, if they make a mistake or two, because the next one is so important.
For sure, man. I could have easily went into our meeting today and been like, hey, everybody, you screwed up on this, and this. Well, that's not going to spark any change. I want our guys to be positive about what's ahead of us, right? Because we can't go back and change what happened in the past, but I just want our guys to have a positive outlook on the future. So we're going to clean up the mistakes that they made. We're going to continue to coach them, continue to help them as best we can, and let's press forward. If we clean up us, right? I say we clean up our house. Now we have a chance to go compete fairly, right? We got to not let the Texans beat the Texans. Let's go out, let's compete. Just imagine if we played our style of football, what the difference in the outcome would have been.
This league fascinates me. You work all off season long, and then you have these games, and it comes down to just inches. And so every weight you lift, every rep you run in the off season might affect a moment like that, no matter what it is, right?
That's it, man. It's all about the details, right?
Yeah.
Every team is good. Everybody has great athletes. Everybody has strong play. Everybody has good scheme. But when it comes down to it, right, all these games in the NFL comes down to the last possession. So it's about those small details. Who can execute in that critical situation, that critical moment? Can you execute, and can you be on it to put your team on the winning side?
For the Denver Broncos, you probably don't look at too much tape from earlier in the season, right? Maybe the Miami game, you don't even look at it. I don't know if you do or not, Coach, but here they are having won 5 games in a row. That's tied for the league's longest winning streak, and they're taking the ball away a lot lately. What are you seeing in them so far before you dive really deep into the prep this week?
Yeah, I think it starts with their defense. As you said, Mark, the way they're creating turnovers, right? Giving their offense a short field, that's how they're winning games, right? They're playing really good on defense. And we have to match their defense. We have to play better. I know this game is going to be about the turnover battle, right? We got to find a way to create some turnovers for us on defense, right? But that's where Denver is. They're going to run the ball well. They got good backs, good O-line. They run the ball well, and then they really rely on their defense.
We know you don't do it, but do you have to tell your players or remind them not to do it, not to stick your head out of the hole and look at what the other teams around the league are doing this time of year as you head down to these final 6 games of the regular season? I know we talked about focusing on the next one. Do you have to remind them of that, or is that not necessarily?
Well, I just told our guys today, look, the next 6 games that we have, right, everybody is vying for a spot. Right, so we have an opportunity 1 week at a time. You just handle business the right way. But everybody is vying for that same spot. So if we go out, play our style of football the way we're supposed to play, we'll love where we end up at the end of this 6 weeks.
Coach, thanks a lot for joining us. Good luck this week.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome back to Texans 360. We're all familiar with My Cause My Cleats, which gives NFL players a chance to show off their kicks and their favorite cause. Well, today we get an opportunity to take a look at how Khalil Davis is shining a light on something close to his heart: foster care and adoption.
One back. Here's the snap to Mayfield. Backs up. Here's pressure. He's going to go down. Khalil Davis brings down Mayfield at the 10.
I've loved this kid ever since the preseason, and all he does is make plays.
This year, I chose an organization that deals with adoption, anything in foster care that deals with kids needing to be put in a home or rehomed, or just kids in foster care in general. It's very important to me because I'm an adopted child, and I just love to do anything I can and just be a part of that. I'd say from birth to around 9 months, we were in the adoption foster care process. So we had a foster mom who is not related to us, but she was assigned to us. She took care of us mainly through that process while we were trying to find a home. And around 9 months, we found a home that adopted us, and it's been our family ever since.
There was double excitement for the Davis family during the NFL draft. The twins, Carlos and Khalil, had both been selected.
It's been a real journey because, when we're younger, we used to fight a lot, and it was just, kids fight, but especially brothers and twins. But as we gotten older, it's just kind of matured, and just a little bit more respect, a little more boundaries.
You're born with a best friend, I like to say. So growing up, we just always had a lot of fun together. It was always me and him, just doing everything together. So it was really fun childhood growing up.
Still the same energy though. It's always fun with us, and we support each other with whatever we're doing. So it's awesome.
Art's on the fine, got us right. Let's go, child advocates, let's go. And we got the orange and the white, the design with it doesn't matter who you are, everybody is, gets adopted. So that's what I wanted, the different colors of skin, and then the year that we were born, and then my initials, and then my brother's initials. So this is dope. It'll probably just feel like any other cleat, but it'll just have a lot more importance because of what we're representing and what it stands for.
It means a lot to me just to see him giving back and letting this thing come full circle. I mean, that's what it's all about at the end of the day, just giving back and showing appreciation for what you got, what we had. So I'm ecstatic to see him doing this.
And he hands off to ETN, and he's blasted at the line of scrimmage.
All Khalil does is make plays every single game.
I mean, I could shed a tear how proud of him I am. I just want him to do his best, and that's all I care about. I'm going to support him, and I love him.
Welcome back to Texans 360. Last week, Neville Hewitt and Blake Cashman sat down to talk about what they thought was a classic or a zero.
Might be a little crazy.
I binge watch all 6 seasons of Gossip Girl, and I'm not ashamed of it.
Probably could have kept that one, dog. Can't go wrong with a cheese or pepperoni pizza.
What's your classic and what's your zero? I'll go first. I'm Blake Cashman, linebacker, number 53 from Minnesota, 5th year in the league.
I'm Neville Hewitt, number 43, 9th year in the league from Atlanta, Georgia.
Kickstart this off, we got ice cream flavors. Let you start, Nev. What's classic and what's your zero?
My classic ice cream flavor would be, I'm gonna go with rum raisin. I don't know if you heard of that one before. And then my zero would be vanilla, because you could put vanilla with anything.
I like
Always
that.
good.
I like that. My classic would be cookie dough ice cream. And I'd agree with you. My zero would be vanilla, because you can do a lot with that.
You can do a lot with that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Favorite TD celebration? What's your classic and what's your zero?
This might be a little crazy. My classic TD celebration is Randy Moss scoring a touchdown, going to the end zone.
Flexing on him?
And mooning.
Mooning.
Okay. I think it was
it's Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
You got that big fun.
Was it a playoff game?
I think it was a playoff game. And then my zero, I guess my zero be, the classic, hand the ball to the ref, take a photo with your guys. You can't go wrong with that.
I like that. For my classic favorite TD celebration, it's going to be what I have planned. My last name's Cashman, so my classic would be showing a little money into the camera and then throwing the money, blowing a kiss. And my zero, I'd have to say the Gronk spike. Gronk spike. That's just like football 101 right there.
That's number one.
TD celebration. Your classic holiday and your zero holiday.
My classic holiday is going to be Thanksgiving. You bring everybody together, and then you get some of your favorite meals, like, the candy yams and the sweet potatoes. And, my family, we do curry chicken and stuff like that, jerk chicken. My zero would be, I don't want to say Christmas, but Christmas, because, you get gifts and you're giving gifts, so it's a lot of give and take. I'll go with Christmas.
Okay.
For sure.
See, Christmas would be my classic. Me being from Minnesota, it's like what you see in the movie. It's cold, winter wonderland.
Yeah.
You got the fire going, the hot cocoa, all the Christmas tradition, classical stuff you would think of. So, having the family together, Christmas was always a great time of the year, especially growing up in Minnesota. But my zero would be 4th of July. Probably my favorite holiday, but I think there's a lot of great ways to celebrate 4th of July. It's a barbecue, or maybe you're on the beach or on the lake, or a lot of people from where I'm from, you go up to their cabins, get people together, and have a good time. And the card reads linebacker skills. Classic. What's your zero?
My classic and my zero skill. I guess my classic would be hitting. I guess that's where one of my strengths is run and hit. My zero would be, covering a receiver. I don't know.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Covering receivers, but whatever we're called to do, that's what backers do.
Yeah.
You can run.
I like
you can
that.
blitz.
Right.
You can cover.
I agree. You gotta be able to do it all at linebacker. Man.
You gotta do everything.
For classic, I'd say like knowledge, like being a smart player. Linebacker, especially Mike linebacker, which you spent time starting Mike linebacker in the league. You gotta be the quarterback of the defense, get everyone lined up, understand the adjustments. So, I think that's what really separates good linebackers from great linebackers, or knowledge of the defense, knowledge of the game. But my zero would also be coverage, because that's what makes you special nowadays. Well, Nev, I enjoy going over the classic and zero for all the topics we discussed today.
Likewise.
Time to wrap this up, man.
Yes, sir.
Classic Coke Zero, go Texans.
Welcome back to Texans 360 for the final segment. This week, Brandon Scott sat down with Neville Hewitt to talk about his My Cause My Cleats and much, much more.
Tell me about your background, how that shaped you. You moved around a little bit and had a pretty interesting journey to being undrafted and getting into the NFL.
Yeah, so I started off high school. I had about 7 scholarships. First scholarship was to University of South Carolina, and couldn't accept it. Had offers to Purdue, Georgia State, Western Kentucky. Couldn't accept none of the scholarships. At the time, my mom was incarcerated since I was like 9th grade. So I pretty much did enough to qualify to play sports, and kept me out of trouble. My high school coach drove me down to Georgia Military College, and at the time I had dreads, so I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna cut my hair. But my mom was incarcerated probably like an hour and 30 minutes away, so it was the only junior college in Georgia. And so that same junior college was like a pipeline to go to SEC schools like UGA. We had some placements from South Carolina and stuff, so I decided to go there, joined the little cadet corps, because you had to be in the cadet corps to play football. And so did that, fixed my grades, was on the dean list, and then school started coming in, and I went from playing free safety They moved me to strong safety. I started gaining some weight. I got them 3 meals a day now.
You mentioned your mom being incarcerated when you were younger, and that is the inspiration for your My Cause, My Cleats. I want to give you an opportunity to tell us about that, and especially like how specific that is to you and your experience, and why obviously you're passionate about that.
Yeah, so throughout my career, something I always wanted to do is give back to a foundation that specializes in kids whose parents are incarcerated. So I think it was like last year, I just started looking around and ended up finding a Freedom Child Foundation that's based here in Houston. And then I was like, well, this is perfect call. This is something I actually wanted to support. So I was like, the last 2 years, I said, this is the foundation that I'm going to represent whenever we get the opportunity, because I know how, especially around this time, the holidays, I remember like how you just don't have the resources, just clothes and food and stuff like that. So I was like, if I can bring awareness to it and get people to, donate or do whatever they can to help out these children, that's the reason. And then my mom, the reason the colors are green and black, my family's Jamaican. So while my mom was incarcerated, she ended up getting deported my 3rd year in the league. So she ended up getting deported. So it was like she went back to Jamaica. So I always put the Jamaican flag there, and that's pretty much why that's why I chose this cause.
Thank you so much for watching this edition of Texans 360. Our Texans will be back in NRG Stadium this Sunday at noon to take on the Broncos. If you want more content or a place to get tickets, go to HoustonTexans.com. Thanks so much for watching, and go Texans.